Hey, welcome to Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction on the Games Tavern here, streamed live from YouTube. Thank you so much for everybody for joining us today. I'm already seeing some folks. Oh, there's a good friend in chat saying hello. Thank you so much. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. It's free and it helps the great people here, including the people behind the scenes, get the word out. And if you like this episode, please leave a comment to let everybody know how cool this episode was for you so that everybody else can find it and find out just how awesome everybody here working on this project is. And one other thing, let's see here. Do we have any announcements today?
Oh, candles. I love talking about candles.
Go for it.
Well, hey, everybody. If you haven't been with us before, first time hanging out with us, we are a big fan of mythology candles. I actually have so many over here. I have some here and some here. And once you know what, I even have some right here. I keep a ton by my desk because I have a problem. But the good thing is they are wonderful candles and I can't recommend them enough, nor can we here at the Games Tavern. They just closed out their Princess and the Bride set. They did a 3 trio of that, and they're about to open up their fall cottage core candle set, which has a lot of like spices and chocolate and some like evergreen scents as well. So they do fun stuff like that. They also have a D&D collection. It was a little bit more pertinent to us, but every candle I have bought, clearly, I enjoy. It's just an issue of cycling them around. So if you want to support a small business as well as one of your, if not most favorite streams, be sure to check out our mythology link to help us both out.
And that mythology link will be dropped in chat just a few moments. So one other thing, be sure and check out the merch from the Games Tavern, which includes a great deal of cool stuff for featuring Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction, and some other fun stuff for those of you who paint miniatures, to those of you who like to just do cool stuff, especially now that the crisp fall air and winter is on its way. There's the hoodies and the beanies are also now on there too. We'll probably feature some of those in the next week or two, I think. But all right. Finally, one other thing to mention. Let's go ahead and mention Dragon's Concord since we're here. Mike, you want to say anything about Dragon's Concord?
I spend way too much money and time there. It's great. I love the Dragon's Concord. If you're looking for a place in Northern Virginia to play D&D, look no further. It's amazing. It's located in Fairfax. They have amazing play spaces from private rooms that are themed with amazing equipment like projectors for cool tabletop maps, whiteboards so you can draw. You can put miniatures on there. Nice, like I said, themed rooms. There's like a forest, a space room. I can't remember the name of the other one, but it's cool. They're all amazing. And they've just got great people. There's storytellers there that they have who are amazing professional game masters who will put on an amazing story. Like I said, I'm playing in 2 currently, one tomorrow, one on Saturday. So it's a great place. I highly recommend it. I think one of our people actually DMs games. So, if you want to play with some people here, go check out the game. Not the Games Tavern, Dragon's Concord.
Well, she DMs games Fairfax, because she's got to pay for her candle habit. It's
honestly, just, it's got to come from somewhere. You got a problem, you got to find a solution. But yeah, couldn't recommend it enough. They have their own Discord as well and a website, so go check it out. It's great, nice people. I cannot say enough good things about it.
All right, and Mike, the one of the owners over there, has been a good person to us as well. So. Let's see here. Where we last left off. Can I get some jungle sounds, please, sir? From the Tech Goblin. All right. So, where we last left off, the party had just engaged in helping defend the Tabaxi city of Aboria from what can only be described as a war party of over 500 gnolls. The entire city or village of Aboria in all 3 canopies got involved. However, it appears that the group and the city was discovered by some flying creatures prior to this and may have tipped off the vicious gnolls as to their location. Flying away, the fight ensued at the tier that they were at, putting themselves between all the children on the top tier the party fought off a group that had penetrated through from the first tier to the first canopy to the second canopy and stopped them cold, with only a little bit of tripping and a whole lot of knocking gnolls off the trees. Well played. However, licking their wounds, figuratively, the party decided wisely to rest for another day, believing that it's highly unlikely that Tabaxi would have yet another war party of that size ready to go within moments. You've rested through the day, refitted. Each of you has been provided an extra set of rope, a climbing kit, a few extra torches, and I believe you agreed to head out in the middle of the night.
We were told it was safest at this junction in time.
That is true.
When
The
previously
night is
it
probably
wasn't.
more on your side than it would be on a group of 500 gnolls walking through the jungle, you know. They might leave a signature. You never know, right? So from there, Bart attempts to, get the rest of his gear on, and he says a few kind words to his family and friends before stepping out. You see people still mourning over the bodies of those they lost. And you step out into the night. Do you activate torches or magical lights or anything of that nature, or are you going strictly by the darkness?
I have a bullseye lantern. That might be handy right now.
A bullseye lantern or a hooded lantern?
Either.
I don't know. Do you have one?
Don't you have Garlow's old one?
Hooded
There we
lantern.
go.
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Are you turning on the hooded lantern? Are you igniting it?
Yeah, I think I will for now, unless.
Wasn't that a
the other-
magical hooded lantern?
No, it just says hooded lantern.
Yeah, but Garlow's was magical in nature.
Do I have
So it
Garland?
works like a hooded
Okay.
lantern, but you can turn it off and on, and it doesn't go out very easy. Okay.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
So unless like one of the other members of the party is like, no light, I turn on the hooded lantern.
A warm blue light emits from the hooded lantern, lighting the way. The rest of you are relying on your dark vision?
At
Okay.
the moment, I think yes.
Yeah, dark vision until we actually need more light for something.
And if we do, I can throw up a drift globe, blind assault.
All right. Bart leads the way. Follow me. I know the way to the Temple of the Dog People. We will be probably moving south to follow the river. The first night, nothing happens. You sleep during the day, exchanging guardships. Nothing happens during the day either. On the second night, just before the sun goes down and you're heading out, you do encounter a small patrol of gnolls, already dead. All 6 gnolls absolutely wiped out by traps set by something. Bart immediately lets you know it was set by Tabaxi scouts. They weren't found all at once. They were found here, there. They basically got wiped out piecemeal while heading down a trail. Apparently the gnolls weren't bright enough to get off the trail. As you move
Are we-
further down, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, are we worried about what killed them? Like, is that still out there?
Oh, yes, there are traps everywhere. Just follow where I walk and you will be fine. If you don't,
And at this point, I'm like putting my feet where he was putting his feet. I'm like very like staring at the ground.
yes, that is a very smart move.
Oh god.
Yes. Yeah, these are the ones you can see. The ones that fall in the little pits, you may never see them again.
Try to get behind Lucy and do like a little boop, push him forward.
So stop it.
A few moments later, a few days later, you make your way further down, and you are following a river that just flows. And it is flowing the opposite direction of the direction you're going, which is a good sign because it means it's carrying anything. If you cross the river, or if you go through it, or if you wash yourself in the river, it's not going the other way, potentially revealing people downrange or down the line where you could be if they were in the river. However, he does warn you not to go too far into the water. The piranha are still alive and kicking.
Ew.
Like devil quippers. I hate them.
Not too many animals will kill you with that.
The next day, you guys camp during the day.
Okay.
You wake up, you head out, and at some point, you encounter what can only be described as 2 or 3 gnolls that look to be very confused. Turja smartly turns off her lantern, making them even more confused. And almost as soon as that happens, you hear Bart respond. And then you hear 3 successive flashes of sound. And you see 3 gnolls thump, thump, thump fall to the ground. At that point, from the trees, 5 tabaxi drop. I was just making sure you weren't with our ugly friends here. Bart gives a hearty hello and thank you to his friends. He goes, "We were leading them astray, but apparently they caught your scent. Probably the light from the lantern."
I'll still look at Tertia.
I really doubt that.
I put it away.
This is the advance guard. There's probably about another 100 of them down the way. If you stay near the river, though, they probably won't come near you.
Good note. Good note. We heard that, guys.
Yeah, we'll try to lead them away. I understand you are on a very specific mission.
You could say that.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
The tabaxi both pat paws, and the party of other tabaxi go slinking off through the shadows in the night. You make your way a little further, and you camp for the day. As the sun begins to rise, can you tell me a little bit about, after 4 or 5 days of this, what it's like for you guys?
I think Luciano is nonstop complaining after we've seen like flying ships. Like, why don't we have one of those? Can we get one for the next trip? This sucks.
Well, I mean, you have a nice tent at least.
Okay, but the tent doesn't move. I still have to walk through the jungle. There's
We're
dead
just
things
trying
everywhere.
to quietly get Luciano's lose us twice.
What was that?
We're just trying to get Luciano's badger to ditch us twice.
Oh.
When no one was watching. Yeah. Also, she's been going through Sahir's book whenever she has a moment during the day when they stop to try and figure out more of what's going on in there. Like, can I roll perception to that? See if we can get anything out of it?
Perception isn't going to help you at this point.
Investigation, something. Can I...
What are you trying to figure out?
More about what's going on with the stone and the keys.
The disc keys?
Yes.
And what is it you know already? Just to make sure that everybody else knows what you know already.
Ooh, good question. Essentially that the monoliths are things that control whether or not magic can be used in an area, and the keys activate them, and any key can go to any monolith, and there are various settings. Sometimes you only like stop teleportation, sometimes you stop all magic. The monoliths, I believe, can also be used to teleport groups.
I see her puzzling
Yes.
over the book.
And the
And,
giants built them for their war with between the dragons and the giants.
Okay. You were going to say something, Vale?
I see her puzzling over the book and don't say anything back to her, but keep giving her a side glance. And I'm furiously whittling a larger stick down to a small pointed stick every time she whips the book out and pages through it.
So you're prepared to explain why?
Do you look over at him and ask? Turja,
Is the book trackable? Is that the problem?
are you asking him?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
You're asking me about a book?
Yes?
Would you like help with the book?
Oh, I thought you were angry for some reason. Yes, certainly. Would you? Any help we could get would probably be useful at this point.
Like you would never ask. All right. So here's what I've been thinking, and I whip out some notes. Now, mind you, I've only had a few moments while we've been marching, and I lay out some research notes. So I will help you with an investigation, and then I will use my cantrip, Exceptional Wit, to give you a bonus D6 on your investigation roll. So you should be able to roll with advantage plus D6.
And the other thing I'm looking for is any clue to who might have taken Sahir or where they might have taken him. Although I have a good guess as to who took him. It's the where that's really the big deal.
That's probably not
Okay.
going to find it in the book, but
You get to pick one
might find
thing.
some pages
You get to
for
pick one thing. What are you looking for?
Hmm.
More on the keys, more on who took him, more of where he may have been taken. Pick one.
More on where he may have been taken.
Okay. Roll a investigation check in this case.
And what did you say, Val, about the one? Was it 1d6?
I'm trained in it, so I'm helping you, so you should get advantage. And then plus D6.
Reed, does this stand?
What's that?
Reed, does this stand?
Does the stand?
Does what Val says stand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good, because I rolled a 5. Wow. Okay. Let's get that D6 and pray it's high.
Okay.
Okay, 17 it is. Thank you, Val. That was very helpful.
You don't find anything in there that tells you, that seems to indicate where he would have been taken. Unfortunately, them's the breaks. But you do discover there are a couple pages that have some folded bends in them. Things that he kept going back to over and over again. And one of those is the library in, what do you call it? The Temple of Helping Hands, the Gon Temple. Keeps coming up as a place to research some of the things, and that someone else appears to be researching the same things. So that's all you get.
Alright.
Do you share any of those insights?
Yeah.
The markings about the library and Gone, are there any like internal library numbers, references, that type of stuff, if we were to be there?
No, he mentioned specifically, the stuff on the various mechanics of whatever he's calling null magics. So the things that basically act as a shunt for all magic. It appears that, Sahir is trying to make heads or tails of it.
Have you shown this to Rafe? Temple of Gone?
No, that's a good idea.
I know.
So we wake up Rafe. Which I'm sure Rafe appreciates so much.
So we wake up Rafe. Okay.
Oh, this is sleep time?
How do you
I
wake
was
up
watching.
Rafe?
I I wanted to be watching them being like, what the hell are they so excited about? It's a book.
They all might be giggling a little bit, just giddy.
Rafe, where you're sleeping in the tent, right?
Yeah, Rafe and Sim have taken the actual bedroom.
Okay, so you just walk into the bedroom.
I didn't
What
know.
state
Don't,
is
don't
Sim-
be. Don't. No.
So please describe how you're going to enter the tent.
Do it.
Yeah. Tell us. I mean, just are you going to be like the noble who gets what she wants right now, or are you going to be the demure scaredy cat, or are you going to be like, I don't know what to do? Vale, you do it. What's your goal here? Like,
I walk in the tent, and I go where like the door to the bedroom is, where wherever this bedroom is, and I just sort of whisper, "Hey, Rafe, are you awake?"
Rafe,
Hang on a
you're asleep,
second.
right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay.
I want to be in the main area. Can I? I'm just like, Bridget, stop it. Shh.
Okay. I need Rafe and Sim to make perception checks to see if they hear this. Rafe can do it with advantage. Sim will do it with disadvantage because she's motherfucking sleeping, goddammit.
Gone on out.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter.
Better.
You don't hear anything, Turja.
You mean Rafe?
No, Turja, you don't hear anything.
Oh, I see. I sort of whisper a little louder. Rafe! Hey, Rafe, wake up! And then I find a little like rock or something, and I sort of toss it in there. Nothing heavy or like mean. It won't hurt anybody. It'll just go blink.
Rafe, Sim, do it again.
Jesus, Rob. There we go. Okay.
Well, Simmering is sawing logs so loudly, it's not funny. Rafe, you wake up. What state are you two, like, when you sleep in the bed? Like, I don't want to get into too details, but, like, are you guys, like, sleeping on opposite sides of the beds because somebody's just too fucking hot? Or are you guys, like, wrapped?
They have two
How does this work?
double beds.
It is such an assumption that Sim isn't all elbows and knees whenever she sleeps. Like, just to sprawl out, take up as much space as possible.
There is a very contained Rafe who is being sprawled upon by Sim.
Okay.
Out.
So you wake up to, like, an arm in your face.
Yeah.
And
Am I on watch?
No, I need to talk to you.
Okay. What do I have to roll to get out of here?
you don't. Her
Okay.
8 was more than enough to keep her in bed for a while.
So I'm going to slide out of bed and leave that particular situation behind, and make my way out of the. It's not even really a room per se. I mean, it is a separate room, but it's not like it's a tent. Come on.
Yeah, tent walls.
Yeah.
It's luxury tent. It's super magical glamping, but it's still a tent.
And then I'm going to see that Luciano is down on the ground. I assume he's glaring at Turja.
I'm like, get out!
And go. Okay, well, I was going to say that we probably shouldn't wake Luciano, but let's go outside anyway.
All right. You step outside, and you are in the humid warmth of the jungle.
To be clear, Rafe is not wearing his robes right now. He is just wearing the pants and shirt that he normally wears under them.
Are they
Okay.
orange?
No. Brown and probably white.
Oh, hey, you're up. Good. Hey, we had a question to ask.
Oh, okay.
The Temple of God, the Library of Helping Hands. Are you familiar with that? Have you been there?
I am familiar. I passed my novitiate tests in that very library.
Okay. So, and I gestured to Terja the book. If you could flip to those pages.
I do that and I say, I've been going through the book that Val brought us, whichever. Anyway, before my friend went missing, he was apparently doing a research in the Library of the Helping Hands, and he mentioned that somebody else was researching the same things. Given that we know what he was researching, these monoliths and these keys, I was wondering if you might have any idea who might have been researching that alongside. Like, if you know anyone else who might be interested in that, or he mentions he was looking into Knoll magics, which, considering what's going on at the Temple of the Dog People, I thought might be relevant.
No, not Knoll.
Oh, okay.
No, as in
misunderstood.
As in no magics. It shunts the magic down. It destroys it.
Well, then
Rita, I'm going to
Interesting,
assume that Rafe is aware of people who research subjects, but not those particular subjects specifically.
So
there are famous researchers,
yeah. You'd know famed researchers from Gond of all sorts of things, but that's not like a major subject area that you know of Knoll magics. I mean, you know things exist like dispel magic to do that, but not deep research on it. Second, you're not really an attending acolyte at the Temple of Helping Hands. You came from the temple in Baldur's Gate, so you've been in that temple, but you were in it with this party for the first time ever. So your understanding of who might be doing that in that particular library, pretty non-existent.
Yeah. I can name some of the more famous researchers, but neither of those subjects are common. And as far as I know, there are no particularly famed scholars on either subject within the church.
Do you know anything about Knoll magics?
Only the basic arcane premise that Knoll magic would prevent the use of normal magics, and therefore is a high crime against the weave, would attract the attention of Azuth or Mistra or one of the other gods who care about such things, and generally not a good idea. Don't get into it.
I wasn't going to try it.
And then I am going to turn and very purposefully stare at Vale.
I look behind me.
You should agree that you are not going to look into this either.
Knoll magic?
Yes.
I mean, it's in a book. I can't make that promise.
Promise not to do it yourself.
What's that?
Promise not to do it yourself.
I'm sorry, I cannot make such a promise.
Well,
but realistically, I mean, I'm more fighter than magic user. I'm probably not going to be casting a lot of Knoll magic. So, if that's any comfort.
Fair enough, I suppose. Although, I must reiterate that the gods may not see it the same way as I do. Now, this is my watch, correct?
Is it his watch?
Nope.
I say yes anyway.
Okay. And you step out and you relieve Bart. Who's
Okay.
on watch. Oh, is it time already? So early.
Well, they woke me up and asked me a bunch of questions, which is always, fun. And then they told me it was my watch. So have a good night.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And you step back in, and Bart steps into the tent and shoots over to a hammock and racks out. And that's the evening. The next day, you all awake. The moon is full in the sky. It is an amazing time. The brightness of the moon lights partially through some of the canopy here and there as you are in the valley where the water is pouring through. And valley, I don't really mean a deep valley. It's more like a depressed area where the water has carved out some space. But nonetheless, it is more light than you've had in a while with the full moon.
Is this a true full moon? Like the
True full moon. Mm-hmm.
As opposed to what other kind of full moon?
Well, it could be, the days leading up to it, not actually full.
It went from
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was kind of hard to tell up until the few days because you were under triple canopy that was challenging to see the light in the sky, except in the very rarest of moments where you found a clearing. But as you're moving through, you hear the sounds of thunderous footsteps. I need everyone real quick to make a constitution check for me.
Check or save?
Check.
Constitution. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Thank you very much. All right. So, you see Bart go, oh, this is going to be rough.
Huh?
That
Care to
is
share?
Shh. Thunder lizard. Feet as long as daggers.
I immediately position myself behind Vale.
Everything stops. I need everyone to make a stealth check.
Okay.
Damn. We are stealthy today.
Okay. We are careful. It won't catch our scent. I need everyone to quiet.
What's that? I didn't hear
What?
what you were saying.
I need to what? I can't hear you.
Hand signals.
He points to his knee. Points to you.
He says we're going after its knees. Sweep its knees.
He said what? What? You said what?
At that point, you hear the sound of it as it takes a whiff of the air. Oh, there it is again. Takes another whiff. Oh, there it is. Don't move a muscle. As he starts to move away, Vale, does that mean you're going after its knees?
I mean,
Because he thinks he's told you to move down by the river. You said go after its knees. Who else heard what Vale said versus what the Tabaxi said?
Yeah, I heard
because
Vale.
we heard it doesn't mean we have to do it.
It's turned its back on us, right?
He did.
If Vale goes after the thing, I'm going to grab him.
Okay, go.
Go.
Yes,
Rolling
go.
initiative.
And Vale has...
Oh no!
Can I try and grab Vale and stop him?
I need everyone to roll initiative, and we'll find out if you can grab Vale fast enough.
Oh no!
Lucy's not about that life, huh?
Okay. Third jump. Vale bolts. What do you do?
I snatch him.
All right, you're going to try to grab him. So
Yeah.
are you going to try to grapple with him to stop him? Because that's what it's going to take.
Then yes,
Okay.
which is a terrible idea, but
Oh, it's a
Go for it. No bad
really
ideas.
terrible idea. But I love what
Oh.
this is because good stories start with bad decisions. So let's get this started. Can I get some combat music, please?
Fighter.
Fighter
So
check.
Vale's already ready to roll that athletics check. I need you to roll an athletics check as well.
I can't roll an athletics check that high. Literally.
You can still crit. I don't know if that
Still
matters.
try if you're, no, you can't crit. You have a
Okay.
-1 to your
Yes,
attack.
that was my
That's
point.
awesome. So unfortunately, you try to grab, you don't. He shrugs you off. You make a lot of noise crashing through the jungle in the way that happens, and then you see it. And the beast is looking right at you from 40 feet away at best. And it lets out the most horrendous roar you've ever heard. Right on cue. Thank you, Tep Goblin. And it starts moving towards you right away. Hunger in its eyes, lit by the moonlight. Simmering, what do you do?
Well, I guess we're fighting. Let's fight. Let's go.
Okay.
I got Vale's back on this. Let's party hardy. Since it yelled, I'm gonna yell right on back and start with a rage.
Okay.
And we're gonna try and hit it with a sword.
Okay, so you're going to move 30 feet. It's moving 20 feet. I'll give you the 30 feet. You make into
Sure.
contact. Are you going for knees? It's very important that we understand what you're going for here.
Is that was the direction? Yes. The very confident direction from Vale, because Vale wouldn't lie to me.
He
What we're
would
going for.
never
It's
lie.
okay though. I got a 10.
All right, hold on 1 second here.
Well, technically a 12.
Yeah.
Not just damage roll. Never mind.
All right, we are going to make this beautiful scene come alive as we clear all the fog. We're going to make sure that this beast shows up.
Illuminated in a beautiful full moon.
And you guys were down here. You are already in contact. Sim and Vale, we're here. Vale, on your turn, you can move your stuff.
Okay.
And the Raven will disappear. Boop. All right. Sim, you've made contact with a T-Rex.
Yeah, I have. Let's go.
Tell
A
me how you're
T-Rex?
gonna do. Tell me what you're gonna do, because this thing is no joke. It is, 12 feet high and full of piss and vinegar, and it's got. I mean, it just roared, and you heard flocks of animals just decide, nope, and disappear.
It's huge, man.
Like I said, there was a bit of overconfidence rushing towards this thing in the beginning, believing it had full support. It is just probably a manic run forward, sword overhead, try to hit. A 10 hits?
A 10 does not hit.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought that felt like a pretty low AC.
You were slinging into it, and it literally bounced off.
And there's probably that moment of looking up and going, "Oh, this is a T-Rex." I don't think I've even heard of these really. We're still gonna try to hit it again though because we're raged, and we're just gonna keep rolling with those punches.
Okay.
Ooh, 19.
19. A 19 does hit.
Huzzah. All right. Do this with my dreadful strike, which will be an additional D4. If my screen wants to show me a D4, that'd be great. A whopping total of 7 damage.
All right.
Love it.
You managed to get a light slice along the leg. It seems pissed. Or it doesn't register yet on its walnut-sized brain.
I am having second thoughts, admittedly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Rafe, it is your turn.
So I'm going to cast Haste on Terja this time.
Okay.
As I do that, I am going to move away from her. So let me see. I think that's as far away as I can be to actually successfully cast the spell.
Well, you could cast and then move. Like, there's no
Oh,
order
that's
to
true.
this.
Yeah. So I will move the additional feet away. Using shrubbery to my advantage.
Okay. Shrubbery.
Yes. So
Okay.
Terja, you hear Rafe say something, but it's so fast that it's very confusing. And then everything speeds up. Just a little bit.
Or in her case, her perception is everything slows down.
Well, it depends on whether I'm perceiving my own motion or the world around me as speeding up.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was going to give Rafe the benefit of the doubt and assume that he was referring to my own perception speeding up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else, Rafe? Any bonus actions? Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Vale, what are you doing? You just watched Sim okay, and you start to move. You feel something grab a hold of you, and you shrug it off, and then you see Cimarine has taken advantage of this moment and sprinted ahead, and then you see her look of, what's your look on your face, Sim?
Oh no. Oh god. Concerned.
I look at Terja. The battle's up ahead. And as I sprint forward, the T-Rex here. Is it possible to climb up the T-Rex?
Well, right now Sim has its attention. If you can get behind it,
Okay.
I will give you a athletics check to climb up through the tail.
That's what I'm kind of looking for.
Or you can
So-
attempt to, you can try to climb the leg, but that's going to be a little harder. The tail
tall
is
is a
kind of in the
dinosaur?
air and thrashing about. The tail is probably not your friend.
Okay. The leg. I mean, if I'm in contact, that was 25 of my 35 movement. So
Okay.
using
How
I
tall
guess
is
the
this
rest of it.
dinosaur?
This bad boy is huge, so he's probably about 15 to 20 feet.
Can you give me a specific?
No. That's what you estimate in the dark. Except that we'll get to that in a minute. All right, you
So-
need to make an athletics check, and you need to beat a 15.
Okay. Oof. 14.
14. Okay. All right. You don't manage to climb it. You get in there and you go up, and you don't make it. What are you gonna do now?
Well, in that case, I will attack.
Okay.
And, sorry, trying to find my glaive here, rolling to attack. What's to hit?
23
For a
certainly does hit.
little magical slashing. 10 magical slashing.
Mhm.
And a follow-up attack.
A
14?
14 does hit.
Excellent. Okay. And hey, since go big or go home, and I might die next turn, I will action surge to get another action here.
Mhm.
And what the hell? I'm going to try and climb this mountain again. So
Okay.
using the extra action for movement, I guess.
All right, go for it. Oh yeah, you climb right up. This thing is
Okay.
thrashing about. It is adjusting its position to try to get to you, since you actually hurt it a lot more than what Sim did.
Okay.
And it does react to things it does feel, and magical damage is certainly far more than the you dealt was far more than what Sim did. And as it does so, it bends its leg just the right way. You jam up first on the foot, then on the hind point, and then back up on the back arch of the knee of the chicken leg, and then up further. You have made it to the top of the hip of
Okay.
this T-Rex.
And I somehow dropped my character on the map behind the T-Rex, so I can't move it myself any further. So I'll let you deal with that. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Suppose to say you were
I'll just
there.
leave him right there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. The T-Rex, unable to find the assailant on its back, immediately snaps at you, Sim.
Ready?
Does a 19 hit you?
Yes.
You take 28 piercing damage.
I'm taking 14 piercing damage.
It has you in its jaws and is shaking you. You are now grappled and restrained. But at least you're in its jaws, not something else. So just be aware, you are grappled and restrained. Okay. From here, it stomps over this way with a what do we call it? A sim in its mouth and a veil on its back, riding.
This is like a T-Rex sandwich here.
Uh-huh. As you look back to see where Luciano is nowhere to be found. Luciano is not there. No one knows where Luciano is. Luciano doesn't even know where Luciano is.
Bum, bum, bum. Whose turn is it?
It now goes to Turja, as the beast makes a loud roar with Sim in its mouth once more. Sim, you don't know how much more you can take, but you know that being in this thing's mouth is probably the least safe place you could be right now. Oh, we just lost somebody. There we go. All right. So, with that in mind, where is Turja going, and what is she doing?
Well, let's see. I originally was planning a really interesting maneuver with rope, but I'm not sure that's the best idea with Sim in this guy's mouth. So I pull out my handy dandy crossbow, and I think for my first action I pull up my hood, since I've got haste.
Okay, so that's an action or a bonus action?
That's an action, unfortunately.
That means you cannot attack.
Yes, it does. I got haste. That means I get an extra action.
Ah, okay. Yes, you do. I forgot about
Yeah.
the haste.
And so I move behind a tree for some cover.
Okay.
And then I press the dark vision tattoo. Can I do that for free, since it's like literally just pushing the button on my arm?
Yeah, it's a free action.
Okay. So that way I can see everything. And then I take a shot with my crossbow, and I'm going to take a bit of a risk and use sharpshooter.
Okay.
I'm not going to electrocute because I don't know electrocute sim. So I do the triple shot as soon as I can find my weapons.
Okay.
There we go. Let's see. So sharpshooter. Come on, come on, come on, come on. 14 to hit.
14 does hit.
Woohoo! So 3d6, 1d8. Rapid fire, 3 bolts. So the 3d6 for sneak attack plus 3d8 for the bolts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, and the good news is, Sim, even if he wasn't on the back of this thing, it would still count as in contact with you in the mouth of this beast. So it gets sneak attack damage. So just remember that in case it comes up again in the future.
19 plus
helping.
15, so 34 points damage.
34 points of damage? Okay.
Yeah.
So the bolt goes into the side of the beast. You don't know how far the bolt goes, but the bolt's gone. It's in this thing. So all of 3 of them. Just boop, 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 boop. It stumbles for a minute, catches itself, begins to shake its head once more. Simmarine, this is your chance. If you can get a DC 17 or higher score with a athletics check, you can get out.
Okay.
Or at least not be restrained.
Okay. So because I'm raging, I have advantage on strength checks and saves.
Yes, you would have advantage on an
Okay.
athletics check in this case.
Okay. Good. All right, this is fine. Oh, we didn't need it, but just in case. for
17,
flavor.
you got
Yeah.
it. All right, congratulations.
Oh,
You get angry,
worse.
really angry. How do you find a way to force these jaws off you?
I think it's probably even just trying to position the sword in such a way that like actually props the mouth open, enough for me to kind of crawl out. And I know that sword can be called back, so I'm not worried about leaving it.
What's that?
I know that sword can be called back, so I'm not worried about leaving it. I'm just gonna try and jump down and get the fuck
Alright.
out of that mouth.
So you do that and you swing quickly right out of the mouth and fall 10 feet. I need you to make another athletics check to see if you land or if you...
Oh
Nope.
No,
Oh.
advantage.
Advantage.
Oh my god.
You land beautifully. 3-point superhero landing.
Yeah.
Sword still in the mouth of the beast. The beast is like, because it's stuck.
Sorry,
It's
Vale.
stuck in there. Okay. It roars once more in agony and frustration. Great. You see Sim drop. You see Vale getting ready to level some more attacks on the back of this beast. What are you doing?
I am going to go ahead and cast my personal variant of Heartache, which is not Heartache, it is Memories of Drowning. This is a
Nice.
psychic damage attack, so I'm going to go ahead and cast it. I'm going to cast it at 2nd level. So save versus Charisma 14.
Okay. It rolled a 1. It has a -1, which is a 0. Its walnut-sized brain cannot possibly handle what you're throwing at it. It takes 9
So
seconds.
9 psychic damage.
And
And I will move up. Well, actually, I'm going to move this way.
is there any other effects that psychic damage does to it?
No, it's a straight up. You're getting hit by the emotional surge.
Oh.
Okay.
So straight up damage.
It feels like it's drowning.
Yeah.
You see its little tiny arms suddenly start doing this in the front. And then it shakes it off with a sword still in its mouth. Vale, what are you doing?
The 2 questions. The shot on the side. Do I see like the hole where the bolts
No,
went in?
no.
Okay.
You weren't watching for that. You're trying to stay on this thing's back, balanced. you just saw Sim, roll out of the mouth of this thing after you just saw it try to eat her. And
its mouth is currently kind of pried open with the longsword, right?
I don't know that you have the angle really know for sure, but you know that Sim didn't come out with a sword.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move up, use my move to kind of get up onto the head, and I pull out from my side the immovable rod. And do I think I'd have a better chance trying to jam it into its eye, or can I try and like stick it into its mouth while it's open here?
You don't know. You've never fought a T-Rex before, but you can certainly try either one.
Okay. Well, I think throwing it in its mouth is probably the better action here, and also the stupider one. So let's try that.
Okay. So from its neck, you go for it. Make your attack at disadvantage. The only reason you're not making an athletics check to get to the neck in the first place is because you do have shoes of spider climbing and you are somewhat athletic. So.
So what am I rolling here? Just
because it's an improvised weapon attack. You're slinging this thing into its mouth.
Well, I need to activate it, so it's not so much an attack. I need to just kind of
get it in there,
reach my hand in there and then
click just as it goes in, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's more of like a dex save to see if my hand gets chomped on. Okay. Dexterity saving throw?
Yeah.
Sure. I do click the button though, right?
You do click the button. However, the T-Rex, sensing something in its mouth, immediately attempts to bite down.
It does have a sword in its mouth.
It
wedged.
does. And it does so with a 22 to hit. Does a 22 get you?
I would like to shield that.
I'm not going to allow that with the failed dexterity check.
Then I wouldn't shield it.
Okay. Some of the most painful crumping in your armor ever as dagger-like teeth get past some of the edges and go into the areas around your armor, giving you 19 points of piercing damage. However, then it immediately shrieks in pain as the sword punctures the top of its jaw, and it can't move.
I caught it. Get it.
It appears to be thrashing around. It would have used a tail attack to slam Sim in its very next move, but it can't seem to get its head around. It is absolutely at disadvantage right now for all attacks. Luciano is still missing.
Probably hiding behind bush number 3.
Probably.
Turja, what do you do now?
Well, I take my
Then you're on
crossbow. Sorry?
Simmerine's on deck. Just
Oh,
so you know.
okay. I take my crossbow and I give it another shot, and this one will not be sharpshooter. Let's see. 12 to hit?
12 does not hit.
Well, I guess I try again because,
What?
yeah.
Does she have
Haste.
advantage because of the?
She does have advantage because it is.
Oh.
No, it has disadvantage. She doesn't have
Okay.
advantage.
Okay,
So,
never mind.
Yeah.
But the second shot was 17, so that should hit.
Are you using the triple shot or are you using
I'm using the triple shot.
triple shot? Okay, so the second one was a 17.
Yeah.
All right, so that does hit. Roll for damage.
Oh, and I need to roll 2 more d8s for the extra 2, Damn. 36 points damage.
Okay. It is certainly hurting. You're seeing blood coming out of multiple locations, especially its mouth, but also out of its side. It is obviously frustrated. Challenges abound. that point, Cimmerine, it's your move. Rafe, you're on deck.
All right, still in this delightfully feral state. I'm not going to worry about grabbing my axes or anything. I think we're going to shake out the claw hand once more. We're going to let it do its creepy, terrifying drippiness as we go for the primal savagery first.
Mm-hmm.
One to hit. 23.
Nice.
Describe how this comes off the hand.
Yeah,
23
so,
hits.
sorry, what was the last part?
The 23 definitely hits.
Hits.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Just like every other time, right? It's like a quick flick of the hair, and when it comes back, the hand just looks gnarled. The nails get longer, looks more like a claw than a hand. Super sharp fingers. There is a black, shadowy, almost drippiness coming off of it as it goes to slash across whatever the nearest part of the T-Rex I can possibly reach is.
Okay. And roll for damage.
6 acid damage.
All right. 6 acid
Oh.
damage certainly hits.
Plus my dreadful, which is psychic damage, so additional 2.
Okay.
as
So not
my-
only does it burn, it hurts their feelings too.
Yeah, we're just bullying it at this point.
Yeah. It's stumbling, but it seems like every time it stumbles to fall, like its head gets hung up. It's trying to get loose. Rafe, what are you doing?
I have another attack.
Oh, you have another attack. I forgot. Oh gosh, you can really just bring it down. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, Ranger.
But this time I'm just going to straight up punch it. It was like the claw only lasts that one attack,
Mhm.
right? And still just pissed off. I'm going to punch it right in the same spot that I had just cut it.
Okay.
Or burned it, I should say, more over. It was a 12 to hit.
12 does not. It bounces off. You hit it, but it doesn't do anything.
I tried, though.
You sure did.
That was my turn. I'm good.
Okay. Rafe, what are you doing? Vale, you're on deck.
Moving up to where Sim is, and Sim is going to receive a Cure Wounds at first level. Basically, just trying to close the bleeding for 4 hit points, of course.
She is covered in saliva and what can only be described as dino breath.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Rafe loves her anyway.
All right.
And I think that's it for me. Yeah, I'm going to stop there.
Okay. Vale, from your position, what are you doing?
So I've definitely dropped to the ground the pole arm because one arm is occupied and I couldn't wield it anyways.
Oh, no, it had to release. Like, your arm is back.
Oh, it is.
It bit down, but it released because it was frustrated because it got a sword go up through its part of its snout.
Okay, then. So I'm still kind of gripping to its front there.
Yeah, with the other arm. Yeah.
Delightful. In that case, with my spider climby type feet clinging to its side, I will use both hands with the glaive and try to jam it into its eye. You know, just stabbing about the neck and face.
Okay. You're going ham on the head.
Yeah.
16
16 to
hits.
hit. Little magical slashing coming its way for 8.
All right.
And then follow-on attack.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Nat
that's
20.
great.
Critical hit.
Ooh.
Roll for damage. How do you want to do this, my friend? How do you want to
Holy
eat
cow.
this dinosaur? Keep the legs.
Nice.
27 or 24 magical slashing.
Mhm.
The glaive goes halfway up, like right. It finds the eye, the sweet spot, and goes right into its little walnut brain.
With a final shrieking roar, the Tyrannosaurus Rex slumps, but stops just short of falling down. Its head stuck on the rod of holding. A sword falls and sticks point first right in front of it on the ground. The moon-touched rapier. And it's stuck like at an angle on a rod of holding. Everything goes quiet.
Bart, we went for the knees. We went for the knees.
You can't hear Bart anywhere.
Lucy?
Lucy?
Bart?
I want to go back to where we last saw them. And if I can, I want to go ahead and, again, with the claw hand, touch tracks that I think belong to Lucy and or Bart and use Illuminate Spore.
At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and cast Cure Light Wounds on Vale just to stop his bleeding as well. And Vale gets 11 hit points back.
And there's an removable rod that we need to recover from this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I will assist poorly. But
that's going to be a very fun task. I can't wait to hear how you plan to do it.
Grab it.
You find the tracks for Luciano and for Bart in the vicinity down here, not too far from the river where you guys were at. However, they both disappear to the west, like down, going upriver. But you don't see where they lead to yet.
This is after I've done my boop.
Yeah, you find the tracks. I mean, they're going west, but you don't. You got to follow the tracks.
Sure. Okay, just want to make sure that we can see the little glowing steps. That's what I guess also everyone else sees at this point. Is that you would see, if I could recognize it, Lucy's tracks glowing faintly ahead, and I'll just go ahead and wave. I think they went this way.
Can we get 5 minutes? Does your spell last that long?
I'm okay. Yeah, sure. Up to an hour. We're fine.
Okay.
Just more worried that something grabbed them like a T-Rex.
Mindful. We need to go find them.
Got a big old magical slashing weapon. I'm up on its head. Kind of carve a tooth or two out to get in there to try and release it. We're going
No.
Okay, so are you reaching into the jaw to grab this thing and turn it off?
Well, I know timing is important.
Yes, it is. So how do you plan to do this? You just reaching in and you're gonna yank as you deactivate and yank, and then ride the body down to the ground?
As a Eldritch Knight, I can summon my weapon. So if I can put the pole arm in its mouth, I can keep the mouth propped open, and then I can always bonus action summon it back. So I'll do the precaution of propping the mouth open with the pole arm. Or if
the
that's
mouth
not going
is
to fit.
huge. How tall is a glaive? Because I don't think the mouth is 10 feet wide, or 10 feet like.
I mean, I'll push it in where it needs to work.
Okay, you're gonna jam that thing in there one way or another. All right, I'll give it to you.
And then, it's all about timing. Kind of got to fall backwards while deactivating the rod.
I'm going to give you an athletic check to pull it out. But I'll give you a second athletic check to see if you can activate the rod partway down to slow your descent or stop your descent. And then you can just click it, and declick it to, on the way down.
Stand clear.
Try that?
Yes, I do.
All right, so make your first athletic check.
Ready?
21. You manage to pull it out. The body starts to fall. Make another athletic check.
Clickety clack. I'm going to be flat. Okay.
You fall. You don't manage to get it clicked. It's covered in dino saliva and viscera, and you can't quite get the click in, and you taking I'm going to just make this easy here. You take 2 points of damage as you land.
Okay.
You hear the crashing sounds behind you, Sim.
King of the jungle.
Good. Walk it off.
You tell me, I do walk it off. I just do a quick circle, and I really seem to catch my second wind as I bonus action heal myself up. So I'm right back to peak full health.
All right. At this point, you begin searching for your friend again. The tracks lead to the west. What's your marching order?
I'll go first.
You're all out of initiative order, by the way.
Sim should go first. She's the one who can illuminate spore.
Okay. Who's
Yep.
behind Sim?
I can
I'll
go
go
right
for
behind,
the-
or you
right.
want me at the end? Tell me where you want me. I'm big and loud.
I'll go at the back.
You can be back up, Vale.
All right, number 2.
Who's next?
I suppose Rape is next.
All right. And then Turja in the rear.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are making your progress a little bit slowly through the jungle because you're trying to maintain. I mean, even though the tracks are glowing magically for all of you, you're still in the jungle.
So there's some magic I can do that would help us with our overland travel pace, but I can only do it to two of us, and it's already affecting me.
Fireless?
Yes.
Hmm.
Your call.
Well, what happens to you when that spell ends?
I mean, no, I'm fine. It's a
15
long
minutes
lasting
have already
spell.
passed.
Let's save it for later. We need to stay together. I think that's better.
Sure.
You walk about 5 minutes and you see an unconscious, horribly wounded Bart face down on the ground. Luciano's tracks continue to the west.
What do the wounds appear to be from?
Some kind of horrible creature, possibly a dinosaur, possibly, something smaller. It could have been another knoll based on the tooth marks.
So I'm going to let him recover 8 hit points. Hopefully that stabilizes him.
Oh,
Bart, if you can, hide somewhere. We'll be back.
I can walk. What hit me?
You remember what happened?
I have no idea. I was moving away, like I said go. We started to move away, and the next thing I know, I'm moving along, and I don't know what happened.
Wait, isn't this the you didn't tell us to go for the knees?
No, you moron! Who fights a T-Rex in the night, in the dark, in the jungle? Wait, you're still
killed it.
alive and you went for the knees?
Oh, yeah. No, it's dead. Very much.
What, like it's hard?
We must go back.
What? Why? We need to find Luciano.
Whatever got me is Luciano is probably chasing down.
Sorry.
Okay, maybe that was a step too far. Perhaps that was a step too far.
Wow, I see what y'all think now.
Okay,
We-
look. The teeth of a T-Rex are absolutely a sign of good luck. Each of you should have one as a pendant.
I probably still have one in me. So I'm going to keep walking forward and go find my friend. Because that's way more important to me than luck.
Fair enough. Let us go.
Perhaps you should go back and wait. You don't look well.
I am not leaving you to go walk through the jungle where you have no idea where you are going.
But we do.
No, you know a pathway where tracks are, but you do not know where you are going.
All right, thank you, Bart.
Yes. However, I will be the smart one, and I will follow the one with blood all over her outfit, who is obviously following. Are those glowing tracks?
Yeah, they're really neat. How you could touch them even.
That is an amazing trick. You must show me how you did this.
Sure, later.
Yes, obviously. No, shall we?
Mhm.
And he steps in right behind you, right in front of Rafe.
Vale.
Okay. No,
Vale was
Vale,
second in
right in
order.
front of Vale. He does a quick check. He's like, still have all of my things.
T-Rexes don't have need for money, I don't think.
Yes, good point. Oh, you smell of rotting meat.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
gross.
Yes.
That would be because my arm was inside the T-Rex.
Valid point. Valid point. Wait a minute. You put your arm inside the T-Rex's mouth?
They're softer on the inside.
Who are you people?
Oh
Just
no.
a librarian.
And you
I
guys
don't want to
begin?
be here. Does that make you feel better?
Somewhat. Thirja, we must move on. And you begin moving once again. You follow the tracks west for about 30 more minutes. And when we come back from this short break, we'll find out what happens next. See you guys soon. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you here at Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction as we've come back from our break while the party has been searching for their friend who's missing.
Kind of, sort of, maybe.
Yeah. So before we get started, though, Mike, do you want to tell everybody about Shard Tabletop by chance?
Oh, I just get to brag about things I like this episode. That's cool.
Oh, it's all about you, Mike.
I love it. Yeah, huge thank you to Shard Tabletop. If you don't know, Shard is what we use while we're playing for our character sheets, our battle maps, our inventory. It's great and it's easy to use. You can check it out yourself. Go to their website, see all the things that they have. They have supplements for adventures, rules, and just any real 5th edition games. It's great, and there's so much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong? Never mind. It also provides digital tools like a character builder, digital character sheets, as well as all sorts of other tools. We love it so much that we use it as the exclusive virtual tabletop of the Games Tavern. It's amazing. We love it so much, and we wanted to share that with you so you can love it so much. So we got a cool little code, TGT Shard 20, which you can use at checkout for 20% off all your subscriptions. Again, when you're at checkout, make sure you use TGT Shard 20 for 20% off all subscriptions. 20%, 1/5. You can just right there. Go check it out. Hopefully you fall in love just like we do, and level up your games.
All right. Thank you so much. And with that, can I get Jungle at Night, please?
Jungle at Night.
You continue on for 20 to 30 minutes, and then the spell wears off, fading slowly. As you step further, the sun begins to rise. The tracks are no longer searchable, as they've wandered into the river themselves. By the sun coming up, it's just... Let me explain the difference. You guys are going further and further into the dark parts of the jungle. The valley is getting deeper and deeper. However, it's only a smidge lighter than darkness. You can see occasionally as the wind blows through the higher canopies, flickers of light beam down, but it's still not bright.
Congrats, panic mode. I am shouting for Lucy consistently till my voice goes hoarse or until someone stops me.
I try to stop her immediately. Is it going to do any good, Sin?
We don't know. He might still be here. We don't know which way he went. He might be able to hear us. We can't just leave him in the jungle.
You honestly think that he just wandered off this way on his own? This far?
Even worse, Turja, if he got taken by something.
If he got taken by something, you shout for him. Whoever took him will hear us too. It won't be Lucy who comes for us, it'll be them.
And with that, we move to Luciano. Luciano, you awaken in what can only be described as a face-first crumpled pile into soft jungle foliage. You have no memory of what's happened. Your head hurts. You're exhausted. Your clothes appear to be sweated through. Some of the edges appear to be frayed where they aren't magical. And you're spitting out something. What are you spitting out?
Ugh. It feels like I licked some kind of animal. My tongue is... Ugh. What are they?
You
Air
make
and
a big
debris.
cough and several gray, blue hairs come out of your mouth. Just chunks of them. There may be like little pieces of blood flecks on them too, keeping them stuck together. The good news is you appear to be alive and you still have all of your things. The bad news is you're about 4 feet from the river. There are tracks coming from the river where you stumbled out of it, and you have no idea where you are or how you got there. And what's worse, you're hearing someone go, and then you hear it. From your position, you freeze, and you see what looks like 2 gnolls, spears in hand, starting to move towards the sound you heard in the distance. They haven't noticed you yet.
I'm like
They're
fully
still
just
damp. They turn and move towards the sounds that they're hearing in the distance.
okay. And I'm like patting myself down, just like looking for injury. Like, what the hell? What the fuck? Okay. Okay. And then like immediately just like searching around to see if I can see any signs that I'm anywhere near anybody else.
So, aside from the fact that you're kind of semi-covered in mud too,
Yep.
you don't see anyone around you that you know. You don't even know where you are. Like, you have no idea where you are.
Immediately, it's the same as Sam. Like I like as soon
Okay,
as
you
they're
just watched
gone,
2
I'm-
gnolls walk
Yeah.
away.
And I'm now freaked the fuck out. I've never been by myself like this in the middle of nowhere.
So you do it?
Yeah, I'm shouting, top of my lungs.
So, okay. As you two are fighting about what to do or not do, in the middle of it, you hear in the distance, echoing through the woods.
Can we tell what direction?
West. Ish.
Sim heads westish.
Upriver. Upriver.
We have to cross the river.
I don't know.
You said it. I could see
If
tracks.
we're heading west, does that cross the river or not?
No. The river
Okay.
moves east to west.
Okay, then no.
Yeah. No.
You said I saw my tracks coming out of the river, right? Because I
Out of the river, like from the river up to wherever it is you fell.
And that's
fell
the
down.
way that the gnolls moved.
No, the gnolls moved downriver.
Okay.
They
Because I
moved
want to
towards
start
the people who were
scrambling.
arguing, who
Yeah.
you could just barely hear in the distance.
Yeah.
That was until you started screaming Sim.
Yeah.
at the
Yeah. I'm trying to make my way because if I can see my footprints came from the river, I'm just like scanning the sides of the river, just trying to figure out if I can see anybody else's.
Okay. Well, as you're doing that, you're hearing.
Oh god. Okay.
As 2 silhouettes start sauntering towards you.
I want to jump in the river. Depending on their react, if they're already there or not.
I mean, it's up to you. Are you going to run into the river?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to do it in a way that you don't get spotted?
Kind of more just frantic, more just like I've realized I've made a mistake, that I can see silhouettes coming back, and I'm like, I need to hide, and then I'm like, water, go into the water.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so you go shooting into the water, splashing in.
Yep. Like,
how far are you
Trying to-
going into the water?
what's that?
How far are you going into the water?
I want to go as far to where, as deep as I can, because I'm gonna try to like merge like hippopotamus style, like eyes above the surface.
Well, the good news is this part of the river is slow moving.
Okay.
There are like lily pads and other foliage in some of the areas closer to the edge. you go into the water. However, you do have horns that stick out as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you're trying to go in and you still want your eyes above water?
Yeah. I mean, even the
Your
whole head,
nose
like
above water?
as long as I can like see, so I can be like, whoop, like just dive under if I see movement.
Okay. You see, so you bolt into the water, make a stealth check to see if you can hide in the water. You're blue,
22.
right?
Yep.
Okay. What color are your horns?
I think they're like blackish gray, like a blackish gray, like a
Blackish
very
gray.
dark gray.
Okay. All right. So you make your way into the water. You see
Or
two
not a blackish
silhouettes
gray, a very like ashy gray. Sorry.
as they gleefully scamper towards where you were. You see them at the ready jump out, and then begin looking. And then you see them kind of go down and and they start pointing to where the tracks are in the river. They look around real quick.
They don't like water, right? They're hyena things.
And they begin moving toward the river.
And I'm at this point, I'm petrified. Just, I'm doing T-Rex logic at this point. Don't move. I can't see you if you don't move.
Okay. All right. They get near the water, kind of get their feet in there a little bit. They're looking around.
Ooh.
And they do not spot you yet. If they're going to, you don't know. So you guys begin running, I'm assuming, right? All right. So as you guys are running back, make perception checks.
In lieu of a perception check, can I rifle through my stuff and pull out my shell phone and dial Lucy?
You certainly can. Pull out your shell phone and you dial Luciano. As you're moving, you're like, okay. And Luciano, everything is okay. They haven't spotted you yet. And they turn
Again,
and
I'm
move
just-
away. And in the water, it vibrates.
I'm like smacking the bag, just like, stop it.
I just love making that sound. What can I say? You're trying to figure out where the hell you put it, much less like it's the most awkward thing ever. They then turn and they look right where you are, because there's also bubbles rising up from the shell phone, which are coming up as well. None of the rest of you can hear this, by the way, because it's muffled by the water. But because they're less than 10 feet away, they definitely hear it. And they begin. And they almost smile with their big fanged maws. Some of them start to have a little drool coming off it. As their spears are already pointed. Jagged, punked metal blades. And they begin entering the water.
This, if it's the second I see them start, like that they notice me and I'm like deadlocked with them, I'm just like, and I'm just trying to like
Are you
move
swimming?
away as fast as I can. Like if it's swimming, swim, but if it's just like sloshing through, I'm just trying to get away as fast as possible. I don't know how deep the river is, if it's
All right,
swimmable.
so you've already gotten, you went down and you were already at like waist deep as you were down. The fastest move you can make is to kick off the ground and shoot as far as you can. You're fully clothed, so you're not exactly, hydrodynamic, but you're not a dumb guy either when it comes to water. I need you to make an athletics check to see how far you go.
Yikes. Okay. Yikes. 8.
Okay, you shoot off, and lily pads and other foliage seem to be getting to you. Vale, he doesn't seem to be answering.
Well, if it's ringing, that's good. That means it's at least within range, right?
Oh, I mean, you don't know what the full range of a shell phone is, but you know you're getting a ring in.
Getting service.
It continues to vibrate. You see them continue in. They are heading towards you. Right? They are now waist deep. They seem to be getting excited. They're moving faster.
I give it 30 seconds, so what, like five rounds or so, and then put it away, and I'll try it again in 10 minutes.
All right. As they get waist deep, it stops. And you manage to get to the other side of the river. However, you notice that the rest of the water starts to froth and bubble further to the north, or to the east. Okay. And that frothing moves upriver against the current very quickly. You see them start to get to be about chest deep in the water. They're focused on you, horrible grins on their faces, because you know they're going to catch you, and they know it too. And then all of a sudden, and they start stabbing at the water. And then you see them,
bloody hell.
And as they come up, another arm comes up, and you see several fish attached to their arms. And then they immediately like fall off, and rents are in their bodies. One falls down. It comes back up for a brief moment. Things on its face, arms, chest, everywhere. It goes back down, and it does not come back up. There is frothing in the water. The other one starts to move back towards the other side of the river, and then it goes down. Red crimson flows down the water slowly, and then the frothing stops.
Horrified look, just terrified of what I just saw. And then it's like a scramble. I assume when I was getting up, it's kind of like all hands just trying to drag myself out of the water onto the bank. Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna resume shouting just everybody's name, just Bill, Sam.
You guys hear it, and within a few short moments, you get there, and on the other side of the river, you see Luciano.
Get a big old dino hug from me.
Nope, he's on the other side of the
river.
Other side of the river.
So I hear them come up.
You see them come up.
Oh, okay, I see them come. And I'm like, what? How? How wide, far is the river?
Oh, it's at least 35, 40 feet.
Guys, don't go to the river. I'm like, stop. And I'll point to like the blood.
Started, mostly faded away. They don't see it.
Oh.
I stare at Luciano and I said, you went in the river after Bart told us about the piranha.
How did you not get eaten?
That's what, and I was like, piranhas! Like it clicks what was happening. I don't know. Oh god. I'll be over and I'm like scanning to see if there's is there like anywhere along the bank where there's anything falling across or any type of travel across the riverbank?
I think at this point I am ignoring the drama, and I turn to Sim and I say, hey, could you hack down a couple of trees? I think I can make a raft to float us across.
We may just need to go down there a little ways. There is a slot canyon area right ahead, the narrow rivers, or the river narrows. There is probably a few trees across there. It is less physically demanding and far less intrusive on the forest, the jungle.
Okay, sure, but then if that's not true, then I'm definitely cutting down trees.
Absolutely fair, but I am fairly certain there is plenty of trees that are across. It's just not here.
Shame.
What is he saying?
We gotta go that way.
And I'm like, that. Okay.
That way.
And I take
Use a
off.
rope if there are no trees.
Okay. Well, you go about an hour during the day, and you do find a tree that has crossed, and you manage to make your way over. It is a very, very thick tree in the triple canopy jungle that has fallen down. There is sunlight coming through the area where the tree took things out. The tree must have fallen maybe a month ago. It's still solid for the most part, at least in the tree. The roots gave way. Probably some jungle rot of some sort. Vines go in all sorts of different directions as well, which would give multiple ways to cross. But you, of course, Luciano, being safety conscious, took the route that was the easiest way to take across the thickest portion of the tree. From here, you manage to, what's the word I'm looking for? You cross over, and then you go another hour to the further west, and you find an area to camp. You are exhausted.
Oh, yeah, done.
You weren't picking up your shell phone.
That's what that was. I was being chased by those fucking gnolls. And I'm like digging in my bag, just like trying to find like where, or like where is it?
Did you learn anything about the gnolls while they were there?
Very vulnerable to piranhas.
Damn it.
So,
Home in the river, let the piranhas do their work.
How come you weren't eaten?
I don't know, but God bless it.
Are you okay? You were just gone. Like gone.
What? Yeah, what happened?
What do you mean what happened? You left.
I didn't. I woke up in the middle of the woods by myself, wet. I felt like I was dragged through a river. And I'm like,
Well, we didn't drag you through the river.
last thing I remember.
And you got the lucky one. I was somebody's chew toy for a while.
I look at him. I'm like, was it a dinosaur?
no, we killed the dinosaur.
You killed the dinosaur. Then what took me?
Question.
Maybe it was another dinosaur?
Oh God, there's another dinosaur.
I think you'd remember that.
I mean,
Both of you.
Something definitely chewed on me.
I kind of look at
Shows
myself
you,
and I'm like,
he shows you like areas where like defensive wounds on his arm where like fur's missing and chunks at the back of his neck. He's like,
Can I medicine that up to get a better idea of what bit him?
sure, make a medicine check. No, you're gonna have to make a nature check.
Okay.
Medicine check would be to put him back together.
Tim should make a nature check.
Go for it then.
oh, I'm just cleaning myself off to look. I'm like, I don't think I feel, and I'm looking. I don't feel anything, but something must have got me. Look at, and I'm like showing them my clothes. It's like something. Like I said, it feels like I was, I don't know, dragged through or.
Your medicine check didn't reveal anything, Vale, at all. You prestidigitate his clothing,
Yes.
Rafe?
And
Oh, yeah, I was
actually,
gonna
now
say,
that I
I
think
can
about it,
look on
I
that
probably
too.
did the same for Vale and Sim on the way here.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty
You have that
intense smell.
fresh, clean smell on your laundry now. Do you prefer Downy or Bounce for smell?
I
I'm
only
a
have
Downy
one
man.
choice. It's Spring Breeze, man.
It's Spring
right.
Breeze. Okay.
I turned to Bart and I'm like, did you wake up with like, I don't know if I was dragged through something, but I was all sorts of just debris and hair in my mouth, and I feel like I'm still finally like getting it, like pulling it out of my mouth in clumps.
There is no more hair in your mouth, but make a perception check.
19.
The hair looks awfully familiar.
I recognize this.
Oh, you do. I just sent
I
you
keep
a
that to
short
myself.
little message to let you know what you recognize.
Yeah. I keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I need a rest. Next time, guys, make sure we're all together. Please.
I didn't try to leave you. We don't know what happened.
And I turn to Bart. I'm like, "Are you sure that the nighttime is the best time to travel? I'm just saying, waking up in the middle of the forest is not the the best feeling."
Well,
With Knowles.
it is up to you, of course.
We would have been fine if Valadin tried to kill a T-Rex single-handed.
You can. And I turned to Vale, all of a sudden, very impressed. Wait, what? You did it single-handed?
No, I mean, it was a team effort, but
It was Val's idea.
Okay. Good. And I kind of like, I give him like a thumbs up, just like a. But yeah, Luciano is dead tired and is ready to pass out. Just run through.
So you are very dead tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
I'll
think
take
it is
first watch.
prudent that we set up our day camp here.
we don't
Yeah.
want to set up camp back at the T-Rex.
Oh, I think that would not be prudent.
I'll take first watch. We should all get some rest, but I think I'm probably the one who's freshest right now.
We are probably near the slot canyon, but we will not be taking the slot canyon. No one goes in there.
Why is that?
No one knows. But none of my people ever went in there. It is dangerous. If it rains and the water flows through, you'll probably not make it.
Okay. Oh. I think that's tomorrow's problem. Or this afternoon, evening,
So
whenever
you-
we're gonna walk.
You all run your shifts, your no other issues during the day. As darkness begins to fall, go ahead, Luciano.
Luciano is just like gone. He's half wide. It's like that kind of like you're exhausted, but you can't fall asleep, tossing, turning, just like running through his head.
Okay. You all awake the next day as the sun begins to set. We must ready ourselves, I guess, once again. You've just packed your tent. You've moved out. The sun is continuing to fall. You're taking advantage of the dusk light. And then you hear it. And you see torches in the distance.
Oh God, no.
Flocks of birds begin shifting away from the sounds as what can only be described as another war party. Hundreds of gnolls. Different sizes, different types. All hungrily moving your direction.
You've already packed up camp, or we
Yes,
just
you
woke
have.
up?
You have. You have packed up camp and you are on the move when this is occurring. It appears that even more gnolls are gathering. They are following and coming to the sounds of the war horns.
How many of these things are in these woods?
So Box Canyon then?
I think the slot canyon is certainly a safer choice than that right there. There is no way we will survive this. That is not a T-Rex. That is much, much worse than a T-Rex.
A T-Rex?
A thunder lizard.
Of course, we're forced to go into an insanely dangerous route in order to avoid even worse dangers.
Look, no one has ever gone into there and come back out that I am aware of in my lifetime.
The amount of times I feel like we've heard that. We'll be fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Who are you people?
Well, okay,
Forget
that's
about it. We gotta
fail.
go. We gotta
Okay.
go.
Librarian, accountant.
And as you step in, you begin to shift your way. So just follow me quickly. And you guys start weaving through the jungle quickly. As you get down further and further into the valley area, the river begins to drop further and further, and the walking area becomes less about earth and more about rock. And in this slot valley, you can see a variety of things. These rocks are incredibly old. There are many geologic lines throughout them, but they are all dark. It's like a dark gray, granite gray. And there are no walkways per se, but it's like giant steps as you make your way down. So it's like, you go, there's 4-foot drop. You go, there's another 4-foot drop. They're all worn like crazy. And it's tough going. You're hearing the war party get closer, but you're now so far down that unless they absolutely know you're there, they're nowhere to be seen. You get down to the bottom of the slot canyon. And by slot canyon, I mean it is a slot. It is only wide enough for maybe 2 people to walk side by side. You make your way in, and you are immediately covered by not only the triple canopy above, but also additional canopy and foliage below. And you then step into total darkness as the sun begins to fall, and you are in this box canyon, or this slot canyon. I do
I
not
am
know how.
now blind.
Just hang on to the person in front of you. Listen,
And I reach out to him. I have no idea. Like, huh?
we don't know how far this goes. If water comes, the only thing we can do is ride it out.
Oh, not the only thing we can do, but one of the things we can.
Right. And you guys begin moving.
Who you said it's 2 at a time, like 2 next to each
Too
other?
wide at the most, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the slot goes all the way up for the most part, but it's not straight up. It's like however the river carved it out as it went on its way down.
It's like the start of a Grand Canyon, right?
There are similar things near the Grand Canyon, except this rock is dark gray. This is not the orange and other tones that are there. As you make your way further in, it takes you what can only be described as 8-9 hours of nonstop walking. There is no place.
Oh yeah.
Yes, go ahead. There
No,
is
I was
no
gonna
place
say-
to camp.
Okay. I was gonna try to catch up. You said can we can't see each other?
You-
We can't.
If you have in dark vision, you can.
Okay.
Oops, we lost somebody there. Uh-oh, what happened?
Looks like Alex cut out real quick. I don't know. if
Okay.
she's buttoning.
Well, she'll come back in as quick as she can. I know she will. Can we get to single camera view, possibly? Yeah, Tech Goblin's working on it now. Okay. So you've moved 8 or 9 hours. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about in those 8 or 9 hours?
So as we're going, I want to
Very
run up
close
to
each other.
Do we really want to talk right now?
There's nothing else in this canyon. Trust me, if we were being chased at this point, they would have been already on top of us.
Yeah,
Is that
I want to run up to
great?
Vale as soon as I can.
More of a whisper than a loud conversation.
Yes.
What's up?
And I kind of just like I come up behind him and I kind of like tap him on the shoulder, just like, Bill, Hey, I got a question for you. Hypothetical, just as a vampire, you ever
Half
feed
vampire.
on a person?
Yes.
Is it like something you controlled, or did it like? How does that?
It's something I learned to control, and I mentioned it before. Part of the reason that I have animated paper pets because I killed a lot of pets growing up.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the real question is, have you ever done it without realizing or meaning to?
Oh yeah, the bloodlust you can take over. It's a thing, but I
Okay.
try to keep it under control by feeding it every
Noted.
now and then.
Okay. Cool.
What's up?
Just, and I kind of like a very like as he's saying this, I'm just kind of like, uh-huh. And then like just shake myself. No, just trying to learn more about you, buddy. First time I've ever met a vampire. I might wanna and I'm just like looking for an excuse. I'm like, make a song about it. If that's okay. I don't mean to, use your story.
Hey,
Uh,
that's okay. I think I
Okay.
still have a tactical like chicken, like in my inventory here. It's probably like get the little
Tactical chicken.
head thing on, blocking the eyesight, around
Mhm.
his beak, kind of on my side. So just
Mhm.
just calling it out there in case anyone's peckish.
Oh. Well, me? No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Whatever. I got a mouthful of this. I still taste it. It's nasty. So no, I'm good right now. I honestly could use some water, and I'm like looking through my bag, and I'm not getting water. I want to see if I have a flask of like any just alcohol because I'm trying to drink right now. I'm trying to ye old painkiller.
I have a liquor flask here in my inventory. I hand you a little. It says VS for Vale Silverleaf. It's
Oh. I activate my tattoo and get my mug. I'm like, oh, I'll take a sip.
oh sure. It is like very high proof, like vodka type
Dwarven
alcohol.
spirits.
Yeah. I mainly use it for cleaning graffiti.
For what?
For cleaning graffiti in the libraries. It's great solvent.
Oh, you waste alcohol on that? And I just downed the rest of whatever he gave me, and I
Make a
let
constitution check.
the mug release.
Check or save.
Checker save? The check?
Make a save.
Okay. Oof. Well, it's not a 1.
You're drunk.
Oh, yeah.
You're shit faced.
Oh, I'm such a bad
So, yeah.
fan.
So, if I'm drunk, then when I get rid of the mug, I don't just kind of like get rid of it. I kind of just like toss it behind me and let it kind of go as it's gone. Just boop.
Do you have any crackers? You should eat some crackers. Something. Fill that stomach.
So you've moved 8 or 9 hours in the Slot Canyon. It's dark. The only thing you've seen is not anything that involves animals, but you have seen the roots of large, viney-like plants that come down in this area and go into the sandy areas that are the areas you're walking through at the bottom. And by sand, it's like silt, hard packed concrete like silt. The sides of this canyon are smooth to the touch. Midway through, though, Bart stops. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen a symbol like this before.
And my drunken stupor, I kind of let me see it. And I kind of look to see if I recognize it.
In white stone, set into the wall, is a rune of some sort. It is not a rune that you recognize at all, Luciano.
Yeah, beats me.
It is similar to some runes you've seen in Sahir's book to you, Turja. But for the rest of you, I'll either let you make a history check. No, you'll have to make a history check to understand what you're looking at. But Luciano, you don't know what it is.
Yeah, the guy's mystery. I don't think we're gonna figure this one out.
I'll roll here.
I honestly don't even think that Rafe would have any clue at all. Not even gonna roll.
And 18.
Well, that critical hit was a nice additional add. I appreciate that, Vale. Vale and Turja, you both recognize them as runes of giant. In giant, the giant language. So Vale, you recognize it as the rune of fire.
Interesting, because the vision was of a fire giant, the red-haired one.
So I assume, Val, you told us that this was a rune of fire?
Yeah, after a moment of kind of staring at it.
Okay.
Fire giant rune.
What?
A giant rune that indicates fire.
I look at it again.
The vision of
just 'cause I
fire
don't believe-
giants?
Remember those visions we had when we imbibed back at the Arborea?
Vividly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the thing that my parents awoke was like a fire giant vampire.
Oh no! And I like Luciana just drains. No.
That is a grossly unfair number of advantages to have over normal humans. Giant and fire and vampire, this is just too much.
I agree.
Well, I guess we should continue. He waves his
and I
hand
whisper to
over the
Phil.
rune as if something's going to happen. Nothing happens.
Are we getting close to the temple? What?
What
I was
temple?
asking.
What temple?
The temple. The dog people.
I've never been down this canyon before. I have no idea where this is ending up. All I can tell you is it's in the right general direction. And right
Right.
now, I just want to live to get out of this canyon.
Alright, I'm sorry.
You know, that same vision showed other fire giants imprisoning the red-haired one, locking him up. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's fire giants down here. Some type of giant.
Let's hope they stay
Why
in
is it gotta
prison.
be fire giants? Like Lucy's just like drunk and upset and just.
That's right, let's go. The sooner we stop moving, the sooner we're out of here.
You walk another hour and you find you actually stumble over it, Luciano. Sticking up from the silt, partially buried, is what looks like the metal piece of a pick.
What the? I kind of
Human-sized,
Yeah.
Pickaxe.
What the
but
hell?
no handle. It is really, it's got to be like 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years old. You can't tell for sure.
I kind of turn. Seems like we weren't the first ones to travel down this path.
You pick it up.
Yeah, and I picked it up and I'm holding it, just trying to like.
Vale, you see a symbol on the side of the haft of that. Silverleaf Expedition.
Huh.
And I kinda-
recognize this.
You want it?
Yeah, take it.
I mean, it's a pick.
50 years old ish. That's the time frame. My parents' expedition. That's their symbol. I gesture to everyone.
Oh.
This isn't good.
No.
What
None
do you
of this is
mean,
good.
your parents' expedition?
I thought your dad was, and I kind of whispered to him, I thought your dad was the fire giant.
No. He killed my dad.
Oh no.
So the story goes. 50 years ago, my mom, a researcher, and dad were down here doing some field work, and think they unearthed something they shouldn't have, maybe opened it and let out an evil, which maybe is some type of vampire, but details are really fuzzy. But this is certainly a connective piece of the story.
I give him a big, I'm like, Vale, I'm sorry, is this okay? We can turn around.
No, this is great. This is where I want to be.
And I'm like, what? Oh yeah.
I mean, really, what are the odds? Just walking around the jungle and you run into it? I mean, it's serendipity.
What do you
glad.
mean, serendipity?
Well, I mean, it makes sense if the legends are nothing ever comes down here and comes out. That's because of what happened 50 years ago.
Okay. So we keep going or we turn around?
Sounds like we're going.
And I pull out my
What's
own flask and I'm continuing to sip.
Well, if my research and visions are correct, whatever was down here that was evil got released. So what are the chances that it's still here? Well, at least one of the things isn't.
Connecting the dots, we have a temple with evil, and we have a site where evil was contained previously. I feel this is rather self-explanatory.
I point at Rafe and say what he said.
And I look to Sim, just like, you. Yeah, we all get it.
Okay, well then we will press on. And you guys press on.
Yep.
And you go for another 30 minutes. And the slot canyon begins to open up. It's now like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Mhm.
You are tired, but you're tired from having to watch your sides as you're not trying to bang your head into some of the rock as it comes out because of the way it carved out. And for the first time, you feel like you can stand upright. And you open up into a slot canyon that moves actually upward only slightly and then expands out into a valley that goes out but doesn't go wide. It just is a giant slot area that opens up. You can see partially, but not by much. There is moonlight, but you see it only poking through different areas. And from there, you see massive vines and roots that are literally crossing over this valley and blocking it from the top, and more jungle growing from that, and vines hanging down. But when I say it widens, it is only what can be described as a massive city carved in black obsidian rock that looks exactly like what you saw at the monolith and in the discs that you've seen before. And when I say massive city, I mean it's huge. It's carved into the valley on both sides. There are things that cross the river of these massive bridges, but it's also giant in scale. The steps 2 feet to 4 feet high each one. Doors that are 18 feet high, all made of stone and overgrown with the jungle. The water trickles through. What do you do?
Well, and I kind of look back to the path. That's crazy. You have to walk through all that to get here?
Or you drop down from above or come from the other way.
Face me off.
I don't like it.
Oh no, there was a great evil here once. I can feel it in my blood.
What? And I immediate wide-eyed.
At that point, all of the moonlight fades away.
I'm like fumbling for any type of. I think we have torches.
Sorry about that, guys.
All of the moonlight fades away, and it's just dark.
I light up like I said. I'm gonna pull out a torch if I have one, and pull out my fancy new magic lighter.
Well, hold off there before you light the torch.
And I'm like, have it to the lighter to the. Huh?
Is it mostly
Close.
open between us and the nearest building? Or
Kinda. There appears to be some rocks, an outcropping. You move forward to inspect it, and you find what can only be described as the remnants of a long, dilapidated humanoid camp.
I go over to investigate.
There are skeletons. There are tools. There are what's left of rotting pieces of canvas. There's not even full tents left.
what you said? Skeletal remains or no?
Yeah.
I'm looking for the skulls. Any big pierced holes through the skull, or bludgeoning, that type of thing.
Not through the skulls.
So are we gonna keep going, or I'm officially freaked out?
Luciana, relax. Fire giants were renowned bards. It's part of their culture.
Okay. So they must have not been.
Make
Bards,
a
right?
insight check, Mike. I mean, Luciano.
Insight. There it is. Oof.
Totally legit. Fire
Yeah.
giants must be bards. Vale's a very learned man. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
He's
Trust
totally
Vale.
on it. Yeah.
Makes sense. I think I heard that somewhere.
Is there any sign that these remains are from the expedition of Vale's parents?
Do you guys wish to investigate besides the obvious stuff?
I do.
This is what you saw without having to make an investigation check.
I always want to make an investigation beyond the obvious stuff.
I rifle through my backpack and pull out a journal of notes and suspicions that I've had put together over the years on what I think I might find here. And,
Conspiracy journal.
Exactly. And share with Turja some of the symbols of the expedition and some other things. Not a deep dive, but
You pull out what can only be described as a cursory map that was put together by the expedition that your mom was able to salvage because they left in a hurry. And you take that map and you look and you hold it out, and it matches this area. And where the camp would be is where you're standing right now. They had unearthed some of this, but it was not this overgrown when they had gotten to it. But it was emptied.
We're in the right place.
Can I do an investigation just to see what I can find beyond the obvious?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
So, besides
11. Not
the
great.
11?
besides the great evil
Yeah.
here,
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Rick.
what else were your parents looking for here, Val?
Yeah, my mom's been a little slippery about that over the years, but they were just doing field work into ancient stuff, kind of adventure researchers, and my mom was more of the scholar. I understand. I never met him. My dad was more of a adventurer type, and what they ended up finding was this place. And from what I understand, they opened something that had been sealed inside of a vault that said punishment for his transgression and what he becomes. So I wouldn't know of any vaults that have that on it.
I concur with your reasonable regard for safety there. No other mentions of what we might run into if we dig deeper here?
I rifled through my notes, read any glimmers of insight.
I mean, your parents were not looking for a great evil. Your parents were looking for history, knowledge, insight.
Magic?
I mean, obviously, if it can be found.
Who doesn't love magic?
And whereas you still don't know the name of what this city would have been, they were well on their way to discovering it when they unlocked a location, if you will. There were some interesting notes that you will also find is that not only was this a city of giants, but these giants obviously either had humanoid-sized creatures living among them or people living among them or were enslaved to them. Because there are also smaller entrances in some places. And there was a part of the city that looked like it was specifically for smaller folk to come and go. Whether that was a trading post or a holding facility, you don't know.
Doesn't seem occupied, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's still something here.
I think we need to look around.
Do you wish to dig around the expedition campsite, or do you want to make camp there? What do you want to do? Because it's one of the few level areas that you can be that's not on the actual city itself. At least at this position.
Sorry, I don't have more to share. Everyone's been very tight-lipped over the years. This is what I've been able to put together over a period of 30 years.
Is there any sign that like the dog people are going to be around anytime soon? Because
what sign would possibly show you that?
Well, like prints from dog people, claw marks, maybe like tufts of hair, just signs that any sort of like humanoid or like sentient beings were milling around, like tracks.
Make a survival check.
15.
You don't see anything that indicates anything besides maybe the occasional animal or plant that anything's really been down here.
Vale, if you are actually going to try and figure out what was going on here, we should prepare to make camp here ourselves. Any strong feelings about moving parts of the camp, or?
I mean, No. Just be careful in case you unearth any buried old vampire spawn or something like that. You know.
What?
Right. And I am actually going to turn my attention to clearing out some of the flat ground so that they can set up at least one of their tents.
By clearing the flat ground, what do you mean?
So you said that the old camp was set up on that relatively flat surface, which is why.
And it was much larger than your single tent.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So he only needs to clear out a little bit of it. So that's what he's going to do.
Okay. In the course of doing that, you bump into what can only be described as a small metal chest. About 2 feet by 1 feet by 1 foot.
When I do so, I will wave Vale over. You may want to take a look at this, Vale.
I'm flipping through my journal, seeing if there was ever any mention of a chest being left behind. In my mind, I'm thinking, if they were suddenly overrun, it's probably it could have been personal belongings or something that they weren't.
So the way your mother described it is they weren't overrun; they were just fearful of their lives and they ran because of things that were happening. Like your mother was already being injured by whatever it was, and the few people who got out with your mother, that was it. Like everybody else was either dead, dying, or on their way.
Oof.
So I don't recognize the chest from the stories or my notes.
But there is a silver leaf filigreed into the front of the chest.
Oh, I get it now.
And the lock is built in.
Huh. I mean, I don't believe I have any key or signet rings, so I look to Terja. Can you work your magic?
Am I in the room, or am I like within?
There's no room. It's everybody there. Yeah.
I'm just kind of poking stuff.
I take out my picks and I look at the lock for a second. Do I recognize anything, or is this just completely meaningless to me?
I mean, it's a lock on a chest.
Okay. Just making sure.
Do you want to inspect it or do anything crazy with it? Feel free to. Tell me what you want to do.
No, not really. Just if it does, nothing occurs to me just by looking at it. I don't want to go into detail.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. I'll check it for traps first, or actually, I'll cast detect magic.
You're gonna cast detect magic. Okay.
Do I see any magic?
Is some common magic within. It is of the what do I describe that as?
Common.
It is abjuration based.
I see abjuration magic. I'm sorry, my internet cut out for a second.
Inside the chest.
Inside the chest.
The chest itself, the lock has, hold on, I have to look that one up. Let me see here. Whatever school of magic the lock spell has. Magic lock, or arcane lock has, is on the lock itself.
Huh.
The magic is on the lock itself, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I look at the others and I say, this lock has some sort of abjuration magic on it. It could be a trap.
And there is a magical item within that is also showing magic.
And there's another item within that's also magic.
Reed, as the resident, totally not a wizard, would the idea of abjuration magic being a trap make sense to me?
No.
Okay, so
typically in your understand. Doesn't mean it couldn't be. I mean, if you're creative enough, anything can be a trap, right?
Right.
But typically, when you see things like that, it's evocation magic. You know, like fireball, delayed blast, or something else like that.
Typically, I would not expect abjuration magic to be some form of trap, but perhaps Vale's sire and or mother are more creative than I am.
I mean, with my training, it's been mostly with abjuration type magic, absorbing elements. It's more of a protective than a necessarily offensive type of magic.
Indeed.
Luciano, who is drunk and never had formal training with magic, is just like listening to like, what? Abjuration. What?
Luciano, would you honor me by coming with me to help me pick out frogs?
No. And I kind of like, I hear him, I look at him and just kind of like far away, distant, like gaze, just like, no, I couldn't.
No. I want to show you how to do something.
And I kind of just take another swig, put my flask away, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, yep.
I mean, unless Turja wants to learn how to do it. I mean, you seemed a little tipsy.
Oh, nah. Georgia, you want to do it?
Or Sim? I don't think
what
this
is
is
he?
of Rafe's
Don't know.
desire. What is that?
We need to open this, I think. Do you still want me to open it?
Thieves.
I take out my lock picks and I pick the lock.
All right, you attempt to pick the lock. All right, go for it.
25.
Nope.
Magic.
I mean, there's abjuration on the lock.
I don't think I can do this unless somebody negates the spell somehow. And I can't do that.
It is also a very fine lock.
I can try again.
I kind of just shout out, can't you just break the box?
You get the feeling that lock is going to take you an hour or two every try you make. It's not going to be a 5-minute thing that you do over and over again.
Sounds like a challenge. Yeah, we could break it, but what if it's something that's glass
Fragile.
inside?
You already know it's magic.
There is a little bit of weight to it too. Not just the chest. But there's a little bit in there.
What if there's anyone who has a vial of acid?
Fresh out. Jim's arm.
What's an idea? Sim?
Yeah, sure. Why not? What's the
Because
worst that could happen?
violence on a box that is still, for whatever reason, completely intact in this area seems like such a great idea.
After 50 years.
He agrees.
I mean, the only thing that's here left over, and he walks over to where there was a pile of, obviously, Pioneer equipment. The only thing left here is very rusted pieces of metal. That thing looks pristine.
Might be protective magic, not bad magic.
Maybe we just hold on to it and give it a try in the future.
But
Well,
the
have you
worst thing that
touched
can
it yet?
happen is that we carry it all the way back with us.
That's a good point. I placed my hand on it.
Nothing happens when you place your hand on it.
Damn
But
it was worth a try.
it does feel cool to the touch.
Oh, they're all
Not
fiddling with
icy, not like a refrigerator that's not meant to like read into it, but it's not like it's been in the earth for a while.
In Elvish, I try my mother's name, Clarice, and then Blaine.
Clarice,
Clarice, her name.
Clarice, and Blaine was your father, right?
Yeah.
Blaine.
Maybe try their birthdays.
What's your
What's the
cell
first-
phone
what was
number?
the dog that your parents owned?
Oh
What was
man.
Maiden
the dog's
name?
name that your parents
When
owned?
did they get married?
What was your grandmother's maiden name? Yeah. As brilliant as that was, placing your hand upon it and speaking that name, that is not the case. However, upon doing all of those different names, birth dates, you mentioned, favorite colors, anything you could think of, you do recall that your mother did have a key that she wore next to a pendant that had a picture of you as a baby and your father as a man.
Huh. So, in all this, I'm thinking this may be my mother's. Any acid vial or attempt, we should just hold off on this for now.
I guess. If you say so, I trust you.
Hey, we can always just bust it open later, right? I mean, it's been
Yeah.
It'll last another day or two.
We should set up camp.
Yes, let me finish clearing out this area now that we have discovered this box. Hopefully nothing else pops up.
As they're all fuddling with the box and camp and stuff, I want to stumble over to Sim. Just put my hand on her and be like, Sim.
Yeah?
You gotta, can you, I can't be, don't let me be alone with Bart. Just don't let me be alone with Bart.
Did Bart do something?
Okay, I am going to collect poisoned frogs. Would anyone care to join me?
No, thank
Join
you.
you? I'll join you.
Okay, I will teach you the ways of collecting poisoned frogs. You remember when my colleagues dropped those knolls?
Yes.
This was the poison that they used.
Good to know.
Yes. And he walks away with you. And he goes towards the edge, like where the water is. And there is, of course, greenery there. And there are all sorts of insects and everything else. But there are also a variety of frogs on the roots that drain from the river itself. And you guys begin collecting various things. And he's showing you, okay, the white ones are a contact poison. What we're looking for is the yellow and black ones and the bright, bright green with the red belly. Those frogs, those are the frogs that will really mess you up. Yes, don't touch them. Just scoop them into, and he hands you a small bag. You just scoop them all into here. Doesn't matter if they mix up, it's okay.
I cast Mage Hands, and I use Mage Hands to pick up the frogs.
Oh, that is a nifty trick. You will have to show me how you did this one time.
If I can.
The rest of you set up the tent. An hour later, Turja... Yes, go ahead, Turja.
I want to say something to Bart before
Yes.
yeah. You know, Bart, it's I've been thinking about what happened with the T-Rex last night and you and Lucy disappearing.
Please, and go on.
Well, Lucy woke up next to those knolls. We saw that.
He woke up next to Knowles?
He did, but that's not the thing. So the only thing I can think of, there were really only two candidates for who might have knocked you out the way you did. It was either the
Okay.
Knolls or it was Lucy. There's just no one else.
Well, there's a lot of assumptions as to what is in the jungle. And I'm not saying it couldn't have been Knowles, but Knowles would have eaten me. And Luciano.
Well, that leaves us with Lucy.
And I highly doubt that Luciano would have done this. And besides, look at it. Luciano looked like the type who would bite me and do things like this.
I agree. It's completely illogical. It's just there's no one else.
I think you are strangely throwing your friend under the wagon, as they say.
No, I'm not saying you would have done it on purpose. That's part of what confuses me. But who else was there?
Do you remember when we fought those spiders that appeared out of nowhere?
I mean, yes.
Do you remember when the gnolls were attacking, but before they attacked, all of those things flew out of the trees?
All right, perhaps it was something else. I don't know.
The way this jungle works is everything here is finding a way to kill you. Nothing here survives unless it either makes more of itself so quick that they can't possibly be killed, or it eats something else. The only reason my people survive is because we have learned to work within that. So we use the things that are trying to kill everything else in the jungle to our advantage, like these frogs, for example.
I'm not saying Lucy did it on purpose and Lucy's bad. I can't think of anything else that might have been there to do it. That's all.
So what you're saying is the most cowardly person in your party accidentally beat the holy, ever-loving shit out of me and bit me about 37 times and then left.
I didn't say it made sense. I said I can't think of anything else.
I could think of like any number of creatures that would do that, although most of them would have continued to eat me. I can only think that perhaps you stumbling upon me saved my life.
It took us more than a few minutes to find you, at least 10.
Well, not everything is like the piranhas in the river.
All right. I hope you're right. I certainly hope you're right.
Okay, now, important to note, and I only say this because I have to tell the children this all the time. Don't lick the frogs. I don't know why someone would do such a thing.
Really weird look
like
and say, check.
Yes. Yes.
Lick frogs.
I'm happy that I do not need to explain more, but you never know what people do.
Fair enough.
Sneak a lick.
Anyway, we should get going. I will show you how to harvest the poison from each of these later.
I take the bag and follow Bart.
Make sure it's tied tight. They will squirm their way out.
Oh, yes, absolutely. No poison.
And he gets to the tent, and before he finishes off at the tent, he takes a string, cuts it, ties it off at the top of one of the tent flaps, lets it pour down, takes a vial out, dabbles out a little drop of something on the string and lets it run down, but not enough to drip, but just enough to fill the string, right? He goes, all right, sit tight, hold on a moment. And within minutes, all sorts of bugs make their way to the string and get stuck to it. We have to feed the frogs.
Got it.
Keep that sharpness. What are the rest of you doing while they're doing that? You've set up the tent. You've got moved yourselves inside.
Yeah. I was going to be trying to have a conversation with Lucy here, who's
Okay.
hey, what's going on? Why? What's going on, buddy? You can talk to me. You know that.
Yeah. And I kind of like look around to see where everybody else is, because Turgid went off right to do the frogs, and I don't know where Vale is, but I assume Rape was setting up. But
I don't really remember much about what happened, but the one thing I know is that when I woke up, I had what appears to me be Bart's hair in my mouth.
That's weird. Why'd you have Bart's hair in your mouth?
And I kind of look like I am stressed out about this. I'm just like,
I don't know. Maybe the night was right. Maybe I am tainted. Maybe
Oh, hey.
I don't know if I attacked. Oh, I don't know.
Hey, it's okay. You're not tainted. Are you a friend? And like arm around your shoulder, but face set as I'm trying to piece it with you.
Yeah.
Like how much fur? And also a weird question. How much?
I don't. It was just so much. It felt like I was having a hairball.
Do you think you attacked him?
I mean, I like very like
I don't remember. I don't think there's no signs. There was no weapons. I have, I don't see any blood. I don't think so, but I just can't make sense of what happened.
Well, I promise you won't have to be alone with him. And we'll just make sure you're not alone, okay? And until we get some more answers, we're not going anywhere, okay?
And I kind of lean into Sam, just like breathe a heavy sigh, like just that the little bit of weight's off. Just.
Do you want to tell anyone else?
I don't know. I don't think I'm ready yet. Not until I know more.
Okay, yeah, of course. Secret safe with me.
And I just give her a small smile.
Vale, picking through your mother's notes, you realize that this is an area known as the Valley of Darkness. The thing that caught the notes early on is this valley is situated in such a way that even without the roots and everything else growing down, the only time light enters it is at high sun, noon, when the sun is directly overhead. Otherwise, only the faintest of light ever actually reaches down here.
How close are we to high noon right now?
You are not. You are closer to 5 in the morning and the sun's starting to come up, but you can't tell. I mean, you can barely see sky right now.
Hey, Rafe, I found something in my notes here. My parents' expedition, they called it the Valley of Darkness. And
That's right.
The sunlight.
Do you think
revelation.
we're in the Valley of Darkness, or is that more generalized?
As you see another translation, it's the Valley of the Lightless Dawn.
There was multiple translations, but I think, according to the notes, it's because only high noon is going to actually bring any light down.
Interesting. Also kind of creepy.
Yeah. Like, if I was going to imprison a vampire somewhere, it wouldn't be in a place like this. So maybe that didn't actually happen here. Who knows?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to kill them, just want to imprison them, this is probably one of the safer places to do it.
True. Who's to say what the intent of some ancient fire giant was? Yeah.
Not knowing all that much about giants, I don't feel any more comfortable speculating on ancient giants either.
Well, we have just come back from harvesting poisoned frogs. I will hang this bag right over here, but we will not open this bag. Opening this bag would be good. You can see here it is cinched tight. If you see any of the frogs, please do not touch them. Just kick them out the door, whatever you need to do, but no frog should escape.
And don't fix them.
Hi, Vale.
Hi, strange looking Bart.
Oh, hello, Bart.
We will be harvesting these in the morning to show it will not kill the frogs. They will live. We will release them all, but we will harvest some poison from them to create desirous effects. Should we wish it?
I'm going to recommend no campfire, because if this place only gets light at noon once a day, and we haven't seen what it's like when the light comes down here, suddenly lighting it up might not be the best idea.
I think I concur with this. Besides, this tent is always pleasant inside. Vale, I was thinking. I think this is definitely not the city of the dog people. I just want to say that up front. The city of the dog people is at least another 5, 6, maybe 10 days to the west. If I'm where I think we are. I had no idea this was here, but I think this is the legendary lightless city. A place that is located where the Temple of the Obsidian Daybreak is. The lightless
I've
dawn.
come to the same conclusion.
Well, if that is true, there are magics to behold here.
What do the legends say?
Well, I don't know all the stories as well as the shamans do. But I did read about a bladed flute, or a bladed whistle, as they said.
Huh.
There was also a thing about a whistle that would raise the dead.
Interesting. I mean, it's with the motif. And
Well, there were also things about fire and warmth and forges and all sorts of other things, but I'll be honest, I don't know all the stories.
I'll page through the notes some more, see if there's anything more about the bone whistle.
Yes. Well, I noticed some of my people amongst the skeletons.
Ooh.
Not my people from my city, but more tabaxi like me. But not from our town. We didn't know this was here.
Who knows? Maybe my parents thought they were going to the Temple of the Dog People and they ended up here.
Anything is possible. That is beyond me.
Is everyone as excited as I am? Because I can't wait to see what happens next. When day, dawn, noon overhead,
I have
we
a
get to see it in
very
all its glory.
bad feeling about this place.
Oh,
Excitement,
Looking around anyway.
not the right
But I
word.
don't agree off, but
We should rest.
Yep.
And we
I'll
will
take
find
first
out
watch.
what happens next on Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction when we come back for our next session here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching tonight, guys. Thank you so much for chat. You guys have rocked it today. And thank you guys so much for all the commentary. Thank you to Shard Tabletop. Thank you to Mythology Candles. And thank you for Dragon's Concord. If there's anything we don't love, actually, if there's anything we do love, let me rephrase that. It's those three groups right there. So, is there anything else we need to put out tonight? Am I
do
forgetting
you want me to
something?
make an announcement about YouTube? I mean, we're on YouTube. It seems kind of
Yeah,
redundant. Okay.
make an announcement on YouTube.
If you haven't already, check the subscribe button below the video you're watching right now. Go ahead and do so right away because it's free and that way you don't miss any of the action and you get access to additional content. Remember, your likes and positive comments in the videos help other adventurers find out about the shows, so please like and subscribe as often as you can.
All right, guys. And we'll see you guys next session here on Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction.